This is the Aoyi Mech Interstellar series Star Knight. Before we begin, I'd like to make a big shout out to Kal-El Collectibles. Big thanks to Kal-El Collectibles for shipping this particular item for me, even during quarantine. You can scroll through their Facebook page. There might be something that you could be interested in getting. If you're in the Philippines or in Manila, they do ship items in the National Capital Region, and they're pretty good. This is my first ever purchase to Kal-El Collectibles. So check out their Facebook page. All right, and a quick look at the packaging. On the side says Interstellar, and on the back is a photo of the back view of the actual figure. Very cool. I like how they did that on top and at the bottom. So let's get this figure out of packaging. And here is LS13 Star Knight out of packaging, and this figure is absolutely gorgeous. Just can't stop playing with this figure. I mean, I'm not one to really gush over a third-party Transformers toy, but this one just blew me away. Just look at this guy. Now, I have all the effects lighted up. The gun, the eyes, and the axe have some LED in them. And let me just turn off the lights so you can better appreciate that lighting. Unbelievable. I'm just so impressed with this figure. The figure also comes with a separate or alternate head, as you can see. This one also lights up. You push the button right here at the back, and this one has more of a detailed face mask than the stock head sculpt that's on him now. I actually prefer this one better for some reason. This one is okay, but I think I'm gonna go with this one, the stock one. Now, it's on a ball joint. There's no screws that you need to unscrew or anything like that. I haven't actually been able to replace them because I didn't want to break the ball joint. Me and my bad luck, I'm probably just gonna break that ball joint if I try to do it. But they're both great head sculpts. I just prefer that one better. It's a lot cleaner and all that. All right. And here is the figure out of that FX transpose. He does come with a really nice detailed instruction manual. I just have a few comments on this manual. I would have appreciated the Hasbro type of two-step transformation for the feet. It was very difficult to figure out how it is actually done from this position to this position. So the instructions were a little bit lacking just for the feet. And for the arms here, when you have to rotate the forearm, if you're not familiar with the transformation of the Studio Series version of this Optimus Prime figure, you'll probably get lost in that. So then he comes with his blaster. Pretty cool. The way you turn it on, there's a button right here, which you switch on, and it turns on the orange amber LED. You turn it off this way. Based on the handle grip, there's only one peg. The slender peg is only on this side, which means he can perfectly hold this blaster with his right hand and not so much with the left hand. Left hand you could probably force it in, but it'll be a much tighter grip only for the right hand. And Optimus always holds his blaster with the right hand anyway. Okay, he also comes with a battle axe, which he can hold on either hand because of these two slots right here. You turn on the LED with this button right here. Pretty cool. It's actually a very nice amber glow onto the blades right there. It's just not showing very properly with the lights on, but that's how you do it. And then you I found it very hard to turn off this particular switch because there's not a lot of clearance for your fingernail or anything like that. So what I do is I use a very thin pair of tweezers and then just push it out like that, and it'll turn it off. Okay. Now the figure also comes with this teeny tiny matrix of leadership. Obviously, he's not going to be able to hold it, but it is a nice touch that they've actually added a matrix of leadership with this figure, albeit a tad bit too tiny. Now, where does it go? Obviously, it will go in his chest cavity. If I can just show you properly how it's done. You open here. And then here, there's this very small space right there. And that's where you sort of put that in like that. Like that. All right, and it stays there. Okay, everything about it just screams masterpiece. Just the details that they've put on this figure, the amount of effort that they really did just to make this figure as accurate as possible to how Optimus looked like in the Bumblebee movie. Look at that. Look at that torso area, the paint, some battle damage here, some scuffing here and there. It's all intentional. Nice glossy red paint apps. It's a very Optimus Prime red, glossy finish to it. Most of it is plastic. There are some die-cast parts, particularly the feet. Soles of the feet are die-cast. But even the parts that are not die-cast, they do look and feel as though they are die-cast. Look at that. The legs are plastic, the hips are plastic, that hinge joint is plastic. Everything about it is plastic, and it is heavy. It's still heavy despite being mostly plastic. The wheels, I can say they're supposed to be rubber wheels, I believe, because they're very soft, but they feel more of like a soft PVC material more than rubberized plastic. Or is that the same thing? I have no idea, but they're not as rubbery as you thought they'd be compared to G1 wheels and all that. Okay, just a few comments though. This particular hinge right here, that's the peg that's supposed to lock in here. It doesn't do so firmly on my copy of the figure. It does lock, then after a while, it's a little bit easy to unpop or to pop off once you're playing with it. So it does lock, but it's not as firm. Also here, the crotch piece. When I took it out of packaging, it was firmly locked, but when I transformed them back and forth, it just doesn't lock. And a final comment, the robot mode. The feet, they're very heavy, and yet they are just attached to this very thin plastic right here. I'm gonna show more of that when I transform the figure, but it's just hanging off of this spine right there that houses the wheels. It's plastic, and I think they should have made that piece die cast. We'll talk about that later when we do transform. The head is obviously, as I mentioned earlier, is on a ball joint, but there is a hinge that allows you to move up and down. You can rotate, swivel him 360, and then you can just wobble the head like that. Waist, there is some swivel. There's a swivel right here, and that hinge that allows you to have him do an ab crunch of sorts. Okay, the shoulders, you can go in and out, and forwards and backwards. There is a way to give it a more range of motion by unpopping that whole shoulder joint like that. It's not essentially part of transformation, but they added that so you could give it a wider range of motion. You can give it some butterfly joints right there for the figure when you're doing some extreme dynamic poses. But the standard vanilla position of the shoulders is to put them all in. Okay, he does have a bicep swivel. There is a hinge right here on the elbow, and the wrists are on swivels. Each finger has 3 joints of articulation, 1, 2, and the tip of the finger. Same with this one, except that the thumb has a ball joint to make it opposable. The rest of the fingers have 1, 2, and 3 joints respectively, so you can do a lot of poses with the fingers here and there. My only gripe about that hand is I wish there was another hinge joint that allowed you to bend the fist this way, but other than that, it's actually fine. Okay, onto the waist or hips. Hips can go, well, can go forward and backward, in and out. This one, the side skirt will allow you to do that. Some give to it. A thigh swivel. Hinged knees, very nice. probably one of the highlights of this figure is that really incredible hinge on the knee. And then the ankles can go forward, up and down, and then have the rocker pivot. All right, and now on to the most difficult part of this review, which is the transformation. The gun does go in between his legs in the truck mode. So to transform the weapon, just fold the handle this way and the magazine up like that. Turn it like that. The fists, I personally prefer them to be closed. The instructions don't tell you to close the fists, but I reckon when I was transforming it, I think the best way to do it is to just close up those fingers and then just do that. All right, and then do the same on the other fist. Like that. Next thing you want to do, you want to do the torso first. Fold these up right here. Just fold his arms out. Best if you just pop off the shoulders so that the arms are just out of the way, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to open up this chest cavity right here, okay? Onto the back, attach that whole back assembly by unpegging right here. These two panels right here. Okay, do that, to that. Okay, detach, just for the time being. And then you want to do is you want to rotate these pieces right here so that you can form that front grille of the truck cab. Very important, you gotta unfold these two pieces right here just to fill out that space, that gap. And that should be it. Reattach this part right here, the back piece, and that should be it. Okay, then the wheels, front wheels, just pull them out, slide them out like that. Okay, it'll allow you to do this and just snap them off to the side like that. All right, next thing you want to do is you want to get rid of the head, just like the Hasbro version. And fold it down like that. And then rotate this whole upper torso assembly like that. This one folds up like this. Okay. And then you want to do this. Okay. And then these extra lights are going to stay like that. And then you want to close that chest part, form the windshield. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and lock the head in place like this. This part is made of die cast, I believe, very strong. So there's no way of cracking or breaking it when you try to transform it back and forth like that. Next thing you want to do is you want to bring this whole assembly like here, like this way, and then fold that whole grill assembly and tuck it underneath that windshield right there. Okay, and that is the front part of the cab. We'll do the arms a little bit later. We got to do the legs first. To do the legs, a little complicated, but you'll be able to do it if you do it one step at a time. Fold this one first. You want to detach this whole piece and this piece right here, much like the original Hasbro version. From this point right here, it'll be very difficult to do. It's going to be tight the first time you do it like that, but you just pop it off. That tab right there is the one that's holding this particular piece in that slot right there. So do the same on the other side. Like that. Okay. Once you've done that, you want to go ahead and rotate this inner knee piece like so. Same on the other side. Rotate, you want to rotate this thigh piece right here. Rotate it this way. And you see that little slender tab right there? That's going to tab onto the slot underneath this particular panel. Make sure it's lined up like that. And lock it in place, okay? Do the same on the other side. Untab and reattach right here. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to open up the thigh panels right here. Go ahead and fold them down like that. Same here. Go ahead and fold them down like that. All right. And then what you want to do underneath the legs, or on the side, You want to fold these pieces up like that. Okay. Then the gas tanks, fold them out, rotate this way. Very satisfying, actually. It's very involved, but it does fill out everything they've thought about it. Now for the calves, go ahead and lift them up like this. Make sure the calves folded down nicely, down like that. Same here. And then they're gonna tab in right here. Actually, they're not gonna tab in this. The gas tanks are gonna tab onto the sides of those calves, like that, and like that. And that's that. Now here's what I'm talking about earlier. The whole die-cast foot, die-cast here, die-cast bits right there, plastic pieces here and here. All right, they're just hanging and just supported by this really, really strong piece of plastic. It's not as brittle as, you know, most plastics go, but after some time, I believe these are probably the first ones that are gonna break. So I wish they would have made this piece die-cast. You know, I paid extra. I would have been willing to pay extra for that, just to make it a little bit more solid so that the angles aren't so flimsy. Okay, now here's the hard part. You have to transform the feet. The heels, you go do that way. If you didn't see this one, that's just the same thing that I did. Do it that way. Okay, the extremely difficult part. You want to go ahead and stretch out that whole ankle. Yeah, from this position, you just bend it out like this. Then what you want to do is you want to try and rotate it at that point, and then rotate everything this way and tab in like that. There's a tab right there. That's what you want to do. This is the final position you want to accomplish. It took forever to figure it out. It took me at least 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to figure it out, but it is doable. Do it and rotate this way, and then rotate this way, and that should lock in nice and squarely. All right, once you've done that, that's the difficult part. That's the first difficult part. The next difficult part of the arms, we'll get to that in a while. Okay, so let's just keep things where they are. Okay, so now on to the arms. First thing you want to do is liberate the forearm. So do this and rotate. This one's pretty easy. The other side's a little bit tight. So go ahead and do this and rotate this way. You want to unfold this whole shoulder assembly like this, that. Okay. And do it this way, that. Just keep it like that for now. Same thing on the other side. Go ahead and unfold like this. And then, okay, just like that. Okay. Now this one is, the side mirrors are a little bit of a pain just to get out. You want to get your fingernail right in there underneath and just pull that out. Same thing here. Okay. First time you're going to do it, it's going to be difficult. Don't break your fingernail. Just get a pair of tweezers or like a bottle opener or a small flat screwdriver just to pry it out, wedge it out, and then it'll be fine. Okay, and just like traditional Optimus Prime transformation, you want to go ahead and do this. Put it up like this. Go ahead and do this, that. Okay, rotate this down like this. Okay, tab it in, and that tab right there is going to go underneath this panel right here. Come on. Okay, like that. All right. This, and then this panel right here, and this bit of die-cast piece right here is going to fold onto the slot right there. Easy peasy, right? Nothing to it. All right, and this one, do the same on the other side. Go ahead and rotate like this, like that. Panel panels in. Slot that in right there. Okay, tab this one in right here. And this panel right here. Okay. All right, nothing to it. And now finally, feet, you gotta insert the weapon, invert it like that. Slots right here, they're gonna slot right there onto the soles of the feet. So that. 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 All right. Nothing to it. And then finally, these pieces, what you want to do is you want to slide them out and slide them back like that. From here, slide out, slide them back like this, and then tab them together. Just like the Hasbro version, these tabs are going to come into these slots right there, just to solidify that awesome semi-truck alt mode. And there you go. Nothing to it, right? Very easy. And nice roll. It rolls very nicely. Nice rubber tires or soft PVC plastic tires. Very cool. Autobots, transform and roll out. And just to give you a little bit of scale, here is the Studio Series Deluxe Class Bumblebee being dwarfed by the Star Knight. You know what? They can actually work. I mean, if you put a little bit of imagination, it kind of work. Yeah, obviously he's a little too small. Okay, one last 360 of the truck mode before we finish off the video for my final recommendations. Look at this. Look how clean this alt mode is. Great paint apps, great silver paint on it. The red is just amazing, it just pops. Perfect hue or perfect shade of blue. I'm really, really liking this one. So just a gorgeous looking truck mode. And for size comparisons, here is Star Knight together with some Hasbro products, the Power of the Primes, Leader Class Optimus Prime, and the Studio Series Voyager Class Bumblebee Optimus Prime. And in case you were wondering, he stands right about 31 centimeters tall, or about 12 inches tall. And so some final thoughts on this figure. For the price point of about $60 to $70, I cannot recommend this figure enough. If you're not really too concerned about scale with the other Transformers, you just want a perfect rendition of Optimus Prime in the Bumblebee movie without spending too much, this is the figure for you. It is way cheaper than the Fire Scorpion or even the Toy World Freedom Leader. This is a figure for a collector who wants a really nice Optimus Prime that's on a budget. It has a great robot mode. The transformation is not as cumbersome or is not too much of a chore. The alt mode is amazing. The quality that they used for this figure is absolutely incredible. It is spot on. One of the best versions, or one of the best versions in toy form of the Bumblebee Optimus Prime I have ever seen, for about the price you would pay for a leader class Hasbro Takara Tomy product. I doubt that even Takara Tomy or Hasbro can ever produce a figure, like a masterpiece figure, that is this good for this price of about $70. No way Hasbro Takara Tomy's ever doing that for that price. They'll probably do this, something like this in masterpiece version, but charge you like $200 or $300 for it easily. Even $500, I would imagine. But for this kind of quality, you just need an Optimus Prime that is awesome on your shelf to represent how he looked in the Bumblebee movie, this is the figure for you. The figure, despite its flaws, I mentioned here, that untabbable waist piece and the fiddly spindle ankle joints, yeah, it has its flaws. I'm going to give this particular figure a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this figure. Do you have this figure? What were your experiences with it? Did you like it better than the official version? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time on this channel, please subscribe. This has been the Aoyi Mech Interstellar series Star Knight. Thanks for watching.